Hi guys, FIFA 21, finally here. SpenUnitedGaming here. So yeah, we're going to start off with a save. So we've got Manchester United. Obviously, we're going to kick off FIFA 21 with them. So as we go straight in, I've only played a couple of games on the Ultimate Team so far. So not played a lot of gameplay. So it's going to be a lot of obviously experiencing things as you probably just coming onto the game. Uh, Obviously, a lot of the features I kind of know about from other YouTubers going through. Obviously, all their early access they've had. Um, but yeah, we'll obviously be going through it ourselves as we go. So obviously, we're going to start here. I'm going to change Mr. SUG. Obviously, for SpenUnitedGaming. We are English. We're going to quickly change a few bits here. I'm not going to worry too much about obviously the likeness, but we do need to actually change a little bit. So I think we'll just go with a red tie. Socks we're not worried about. Shoes, just have a nice pair of tan shoes. Yeah, so happy with that. So obviously we're going to be picking Manchester United. So as we see, 4.5-star rating beginning. Domestic success is high. So obviously we're looking Champions League players, continental success. Obviously we're in the Champions League this year, so I'm not sure exactly how far they're expecting us to go, but we need to crack on with that. Brand exposure is usually pretty easy. Obviously we'll see how it goes in this game. Financials is very low, so obviously we can make transfers. I do like to keep it realistic, so I'm not going to be making crazy amount of signings that are unrealistic. Youth development is high. Obviously we do go through the youth quite a lot anyway. So the transfer budget is 166 million. So yeah, let's get into it. So I think we're going to start on world class. I did think obviously we'd finished on legendary in the Sunderland save, but obviously it's a new game. I want to see how it goes. So I think world class we're going to start on. We'll set it 5 minutes. Sterling, European, obviously. The transfer window. I think we are going to have to enable it because obviously at the moment we're still coming up to the end of the window in real life. So it looks like Telles and Cavani are definitely coming. Jadon Sancho, maybe not, but whether we do actually pick him, I think we might. But I will set it to loose. So normally I like to keep it realistic, but I think we'll definitely keep it to a strict when we come to the RTG. But I do think at the moment loose, just because I don't want to worry about, obviously if I wanted Sancho, I don't want to worry that Dortmund don't want to sell him because he's obviously a major star for them. So we will keep it on loose to start this one at United. So we'll advance that on. So as you can see, football is back. Start of every new season, the sun is shining, hopes and dreams. So yeah, FIFA 21, we're finally back now. Like I say, a lot of these, the new things for this season, obviously I've seen from other YouTubers how to use things, but obviously it is still going to be trial and error, like with the training, all the new systems, obviously with the match sharpness that we've got to worry about. So it will be play by ear. Obviously we're going to look at the growth as well and development of the players. Right, so pre-season, I think obviously for the Manchester United we are just going to simulate this, so we will just go for the most money, obviously 9.1 million. So we will be simming these games. So let's have a quick look at obviously what we've got here. So that's obviously regarding that. So that's transfer youth academy. Obviously you do get a youth scout straight away. So we will have some talent in there. We'll come back to that in a minute. This is the vision. Obviously we'll go through the board objectives as well. That's obviously the scout that we've already got. He's found 10 players in England, and that's obviously introduction to the scout. So we'll go on to the scouts in a minute. So obviously we are on the EA Play trial at the minute, so we do only have 10 hours, so these episodes possibly will be a little bit shorter, as we try and burn through them a little bit to get a few episodes off this week, and then obviously once the game comes out on Friday we'll obviously settle into our normal routine. So as you can see, so we've got a training day straight away. Obviously you've got to try and keep the fitness high of your players, but the sharpness and morale has got to be high as well. But let's have a quick look at the squad as it is. So I think obviously we're going to continue. We'll keep that. Yeah, I'm quite happy for that to actually continue as it is the default formation. That's obviously what Ollie's playing at the moment, so I think we're quite on board with that. We've got Pogba who's actually got a -6 on there, so obviously I think we must be set as a CDM. That's just a quick breakdown of obviously the sharpness and the fitness and the morale. We've got some game plans here. Obviously we'll go through a lot more of this once we're actually getting into the games. Obviously I want to try and get through this pre-season. So yeah, we do have, so obviously our formation, we might actually move that a little bit as well. So I will tinker with this. Obviously Pogba needs to be a CM, Matic will be the CDM. So we will change the formation a little bit later. I will go through development plans, obviously with all the players as well. We do need to actually look at the squad. So have a quick look at the transfers. Obviously we have got, we do need to actually scout Telles and Cavani. So again, that's just walking you through. Obviously it's the first time I've put career mode on, like I say. So we'll have a quick look at Telles. Obviously he's still at Porto in this save, so we will scout him straight away. So that might be the first issue. Cavani, I'm not sure if he's actually going to be in the game. Obviously he would have already left PSG. Maybe when on the first day, obviously if he's already transferred to Manchester United, they might have put him in, but he might not actually be on the game. We'll have to look into that. Yeah, so if we have a quick look at the objectives, obviously a deeper look into this. So youth development, sign at least 3 young players younger than 20 years old with potential greater than the average overall rating. So hopefully, obviously we'll have some good youth scouts, and we'll be able to do that one. Brand exposure, get 25 games without defeat in home matches this season. So 25 games, that's quite a lot. We'll see how we go on with that. Obviously I'm not sure how many games do you have, including Champions League, probably 60 games in a season. So yeah, we do need to obviously push that on. So financials, finish the season with a profit margin of 270 million. So that's a very low priority, so I'm not sure if that'll be manageable. Finishing Champions League position, which we'd expect. Reach the final of the FA Cup as well, that's a high priority. In continental success, reach the final of the Champions League, so they're looking for the final, so that's quite high. Obviously a high priority, and it's quite hard, you would think, to do. If we have a quick look at the youth staff. So obviously, like I say, we already have one staff member, and he is 5-star, 5-star. So William Nixon. Yeah, let's just have a look at the youth that we do have. Obviously, we will keep him in England. Let's have a quick look. How many we've got? So we've got 2, 4. So we've got 6 players in there. So Toby Cole, Australian. I think we'll definitely release him pretty much straight away. It looks awful. So we can definitely release him out. So I'm not worried about you. This Greek player, 57 already, and his potential is between 70 and 94, so he's looking pretty good. Obviously a left-footed goalkeeper. Not a bad start there. Pedro Anez, he's only 48 overall. 67 to 89, so we'll keep him in, but see how he goes on. Obviously a very low overall to start at Cam there. We've got a right midfielder, Cam, Tristan Gordson, an American. He's 60 overall, got between 67 and 93. So again, you do have in training, so his attacking work rate's medium, defensive is low. But obviously we can now train all that. Skill moves 3-star, 3-star. So everything can be trained. So all these youngsters, it's not a be all and end all. And obviously it's good that you actually get to see that they are what their star moves are, and then obviously you can change them, so it's not as bad as it was last year. Joachim Karlsson, a Swede, 15-year-old winger. There's left footer there. Again, we'll see how he goes on. He's got decent potential. And then Bilad Hamidi, an Egyptian. Not the greatest overall again, but does seem to have some potential. So only low work rate, so not great, but again, we can definitely work on that. So we've got a few players in there that could have a bit of potential. So we'll straight away send out William Nixon. We'll send him to England, and we'll go for 9 months. Sorry. We will hire more scouts then. So we've got a 5-star, 4-star here. Obviously we could done with that the other way around. I would be happy with a 5-star judgment, really. So I think we will wait. I would ideally like the 5-star judgment. So we'll come back and we'll try and pick up another scout later on. So yeah, we've sent Nixon out then to England. Obviously we looked for young English talent. What else do we need to look at? So quick look at the finances. So at the moment our budget, obviously 165 million, 544 million in the wage budget as well. So like I say, I'm not looking at making too many players, picking up too many players. Probably do need to scout Jadon Sancho as well. Obviously it doesn't look like he is going to be coming to United this summer, but I think he's probably one that I would like to bring in anyway. Obviously just because United haven't managed to get it over the line, there's a lot of money though. So we'll have to see how much money it's going to cost us to pick him up. So we have a quick look at the calendar. Obviously there is this new sim as well, and the training is going to be a big thing this year. So I think if we have a quick look, so obviously we're going to have, before the match, we're going to have a rest day. I think that's probably the way to go. After the match, recovery day. I think that's pretty typical. And weekly plan. Yeah, I don't want to just train every day. I think we'll start with the intermittent training. and then see how that works, because obviously we do need to work out obviously who we train and how we train them. You are gonna It has changed this year, I'm sure. Obviously a lot of the videos people have seen now, we're training. So let's have a quick look at this, at the squad that we have. Obviously we can potentially look to sell some players on that are not going to play here. So we've got a couple of youngsters. Obviously Pereira's been here for quite a while, but he's out on loan at Huddersfield. So we do have Romero, so it is going to be expiring in 12 months. Obviously it looks like he could potentially leave. I think obviously he's 33 now. We've got Dean Henderson as a backup, so I will put Romero on the transfer list, obviously, and see if we can move him on. Lee Grant as well, he's not going to be playing any part here, so I think we'd like to move him on as well. Obviously if Tellez comes in, we'll then possibly look to move Brandon Williams over onto the right back. So 75 overall at the moment. Obviously Tellez would be pushing Luke Shaw for that starting left back role. Smalling we're going to put up on the transfer list. Obviously it looks like he could potentially be going to Roma. Phil Jones, I don't think Phil Jones is going to leave, but is somebody that we definitely not going to be looking to use, along with Rojo as well. Obviously we've got Twanzebe, want to get him some game time. So we've got Maguire, Lindelof. I'm not sure, obviously in real life I think Bailly's probably going to be quicker than Lindelof, but we'll see how that goes on. Obviously Maguire's going to start, and then we'll see who plays alongside. Twanzebe will be a good backup, and then Mengi, he'll possibly might loan him out, or he might get a bit of game time. Obviously we have got a lot of centre backs, so we'll see how many we actually sell on. At right back, so Darlow, he's actually gone out on loan, so we will loan him out, and I think Laird as well. Fossa-Mensah, do we potentially loan him out? Obviously I do like Fossa-Mensah, but if we're going to get Tellez in, we're not going to need Fossa-Mensah as that backup right back, so he could potentially either go out on loan, but we are going to have quite a few games, so we'll worry about him in a minute. Laird, he will go on the loan list. So again, we've got a lot of youngsters that aren't going to find much game time. Obviously we've got the CDMs there that will all be fighting for that spot. Danny van der Beek, obviously already into the side already, so we're happy with him. Obviously Chong's gone out on loan, Chiori, Danny Levitt. So midfield wise I think we're okay. Andres Pereira, so obviously he is out on loan, but it's a loan to buy, so I wasn't expecting to come back, so I think we might actually just transfer list him rather than loan with the option to buy. We'll just get him off the books. Lingard, I kind of did expect him to get sold this summer, but I think it gives us a couple of options at the moment, so I think we will keep him around. Obviously Dan James, if we bring in Jadon Sancho, we could possibly move Dan James on. Again, it depends on if we do play him or not. And then up top we've just got Agallo and Martial. Cavani, again, if he's not in the game, we've got no option. But obviously we could play Greenwood, play Rashford even. It can be more of that striker as well. So we do have options in that striker position. And again, that comes down to development. So we can develop where people play. So again, it's the transfers are going to dictate a lot of this on how we go. We have a quick look at the finances, so it does seem like we do have a lot of players that are actually in the last year of the loan. Obviously, Igalo's only here for another 6 months. Obviously, he goes back to China in January, so we are only going to have Igalo till then. Pogba's into his last year, so we're going to need to improve his contract. Romero's going to be leaving, hopefully. Rojo is. Lingard, we're going to have to give a new contract. Fossa Mensah. So there is a lot of new contracts that we need to dish out to players that are staying. I do plan on keeping Mata. I think he's definitely going to do a job for us this year. And again, he's 32, but with the way that it works now, that we can actually push him on, prolong him a bit more. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking with the squad. Obviously, like I say, we've got a couple of players that we're potentially looking at bringing in. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it to start. We do need to quickly have a look at this formation, because we do need to. I do like to have Pogba on the left, so we do need to change Pogba's position a little bit. He needs to be a CM. Matic, obviously we're happy with that actually being a little bit more withdrawn. I will just, we do need to actually keep him where he is then. So Matic is, like I say, CDM, that's where we're wanting him. We want him to be in that slightly more defensive role. What else do we need to change here then? So everybody else seems to be in pretty much their right position. I will just move this around a bit. I don't need Henderson on the bench. So I do like to keep my defenders this side. So obviously we've got Igalo, we'll keep on the bench. Dan James is okay. We've got Debate. Possibly don't need 3 midfielders, but who else have we got here? So Jesse, do we maybe put him on the bench? No, I think Van der Beek's better there. Like I say, we're going to have a lot of movement in this squad, so at the moment we're just going to move people around. And then you see Jones has gone down to 75 now, so Phil Jones is really struggling this year. So I think we're happy with that. So that's the formation we're going to be going for. Happy with that. Maybe just drop the defence a little bit. I don't want to be on our heels too much. A few more players in the box. Offensive style, I do want it to be a faster build up, because I kind of want to use that counter at quick players that we have going forward. Obviously our captain's Maguire, which we're happy with. So they're fine. So instructions wise, we do need to have Matic as the more defensive, so he can stay back, and I'll have him covering the centre. And Pogba, he can then look to get forward a bit. Oh, we'll have him as balanced. I don't want to push him too far forward. Gives that a little bit of free roam. So Bruno Fernandes, I give him that free range. Interceptions, I think he's okay with that. Rashford, obviously I want him to cut inside a bit more on that right foot. Get in behind. So yeah, happy with that. Greenwood again, he'll cut inside because he's predominantly left-footed. So we've got Wan-Bissaka who's joining the attack. I will just keep that as balanced. I don't think he's quite good enough to be using that as going forward. So attacking, obviously we'll have him staying back. Lindelof stay back. Luke Shaw, I think we will have him joining the attack a bit. Obviously when Rashford does cut inside, we want that width out on that left side. So I'm happy with that. Martial, I will have him drifting wide a little bit. I think that probably isn't too bad an idea. So yeah, everything else obviously we'll revisit these at some point. But I will make up a second string team as well. So that's fine for the reserves. So that's what the reserves are going to look like. Like I say, we'll start a training here. Obviously we're going to train with the first team to try and get some fitness with them. And as you've probably seen, you need to play actually the drills to start with, because you get a default D rating unless you play them. So obviously if you play them, you get an A rating the first time, then you get A ratings throughout after that, so you only have to play it the once. So we will play these to start to see if we can obviously get a decent rating in them. Alright, so it looks like we're going to get an A rating here. Obviously a good defensive display from the boys, Wan-Bissaka and Lindelof getting us an A rating on the first one there, so good start. So we get a B rating in the second one. So not terrible, and we'll continue on. Like I say, we're looking mainly A's and B's, we'll be fine. Alright, so we've got an A rating on that as well, so got to be happy with that. So this is how obviously the team's going to advance. It looks like, as you can see from the drill, so in the defending obviously you get a minus on the fitness by 10, but the sharpness has gone up by 12. Inside the dribbling you get a minus 10 fitness, but the sharpness goes up by 5. And the hot potato goes down by 10, but then goes up by 10 in the sharpness. So like I say, you have to really focus on players who's getting games and players who aren't. So obviously we're getting greeting there from Harry Maguire. I say that we've got plenty of work to do. Obviously we need to push on here. So we've got an offer here for Luke Shaw from Leicester. Obviously you've got the swap deals and everything else there, so there's a lot more incoming in this. So obviously they're looking to swap one of their players in for Luke Shaw. We're just going to reject that straight out. Obviously we're not looking for under, and obviously Luke Shaw's a big part of our transfer of our squad plan going forward. So we've got another training day here. Like I say, you do need to keep an eye on the squad. So obviously everybody looks pretty fit. Obviously they're going to have having plus ratings as well. So like I say, the sharpness depends. Obviously you've got Matic is only 46 sharp, so you do need to change these around a little bit. So Luke Shaw, Matic, Maguire. So obviously we didn't train everybody, so we do need to make sure that we giving everybody equal training. Right, so we've had a big offer here for Wan-Bissaka from Man City. Obviously that's not something we're going to be looking at. Obviously they offering nearly 60 million, but it's definitely not a player we're looking to sell. Right, so we're coming up to our first friendly game. We've got an offer here for AZ for Ethan Laird, and that's a loan with an option to buy. So we'll negotiate that. Obviously, we're looking for Laird to be a good player. He's a good a young player, so we're definitely not looking to sell him on. So I proposed the loan without the buy, and they have just walked away. So obviously, we're just looking to loan him out for a season. We're definitely not looking to sell him on. But let's go into this. So obviously, we're not going to play any of these games in the pre-season. So we'll start with an interactive sim, just so we can obviously look through how it's going to be used. Obviously, in our saves before, I usually do play like 3 games a month. Obviously, sim the rest. So we'll do like interactive sims. Obviously, it'll make it a bit more realistic. Obviously, we'll be able to bring players in and out the team, so you can sub players, and you can see obviously if somebody's playing poorly, you can bring them off. So I think this interactive sim is going to make the sims a lot better, and a lot more manageable. So obviously, like I say, you can look at your bench, you can look at the fitness of the players, the ratings, the stats, your game plan. So as you can see, Wan-Bissaka's only having a 6 rating so far, and Luke Shaw as well. You've got the stats. Obviously, at the moment we had very poor possession, and then you've got your game plan of both teams. Obviously, they're looking more like a holding 4-3-3. And then obviously you can, and we have gone a goal down, so not the start we wanted. Yeah, so then obviously you can pause the match at any time, make input changes, make subs. But obviously we need a bit more here going forward. Obviously not the start we need here is to do better in this first game here. Oh, it's a good save there from De Gea from stopping us from going 2 down here. So not the start we needed in this opening sim game. Can we get something going? Nicely played into Martial. Martial! Shot blocked, I think, there. And it just rolled harmlessly to the goalkeeper. Fernandez again. It's into Martial, and it's a good save by Grahamo, goalkeeper there. It's nicely played in. Rashford is offside. But we are starting to at least make a few chances here. But obviously, this is only pre-season, so it's more about the fitness. Obviously, we're looking to get the fitness and match sharpness going. Obviously, now there is pre-season games, we can obviously give the reserve team players a bit of training as well. I think that is the way. I think that's what I've seen from other people doing career modes, that obviously your first team squad, they're getting game time, so that's where they're getting their match sharpness, and then your reserves, they then have the training in the week. There's a chance now. It's Greenwood who can't get his shot off. So 64 minutes. I think we'll actually make a couple of changes here. It does look like our fullbacks are struggling a little bit with fitness, so I'll bring on Brandon Williams. So Pogba still, isn't it? What's his position? I don't know if we couldn't have saved that. Obviously, Pogba was. Oh, it's because we've gone attacking. It's actually changed it for us for the worse. And who else have we got to change? Maybe we bring on Scotty McTominay, give him a chance. And there is the equaliser, and it's Harry Maguire. So our first goal, it comes from Harry. Got to be happy with that. We get a goal back. So we'll see how we go for the last few minutes here. At the moment, it's the Brazilian team that's pushing forward. Grêmio, I think, have dominated this game, really. I think at this point you've got to be happy with a draw, but can Den James do more for us here? It's a good ball in, Martial! Did it come off? It did come off the crossbar there, so Anthony Martial, what a chance to snatch the points. Must it be nice to start off with a win in this pre-season, and Lindelof can't reel that one in. Oh, it's a good save by De Gea. That's denied Grêmio the win there. So it is a 1-1 draw. And you can see possession was shocking from us. So we maybe need to look at playing more of a possession-based game coming up. But as we look at the transfer, so we have a transfer from Borussia Mönchengladbach for Chris Smalling. So obviously I would have liked to have sent him out to Roma, but got a decent offer here, so 16.7 it's saying we can go up to, so we may as well try and push Gladbach up a little bit, obviously. So we'll just propose a new deal. We'll ask for 17.5 and see how the Germans are looking at that, and they do straight away go for that. So Chris Smalling, could he be going to the Bundesliga? Right, so we have an offer here for Andres Pereira. This is from Valencia. What's it saying we can get for him? So 9.3. So we will negotiate. Obviously Valencia, a Champions League kind of team in the La Liga, so you've got to say that they're going to have a decent amount of money here. So I think we've got to go with a reasonably higher offer here. 10 million is not a lot, so his value is quite poor, really. And they have taken 10 million straight away, so perhaps we could have gone a bit higher. But again, that could potentially be another player that we're going to be moving on here. So Leipzig, quick look at the squad. I think we'll just do a quick sim then for the rest of the games here. So we'll go quick sim, see how we go on in the second game. And it's a 3-2 win. So Martial, Greenwood and Rashford picking up the goals for us. So happy to get our first win of pre-season. So we've got a 2-year loan here from Ajax at Darlow. Two years, I'm not sure. Do we want to send him out for 2 years? I think we will just accept that. Obviously we could always just cancel the loan a year in and just pull him back. So right, so we are getting sales. So for Chris Smalling has gone to Germany. We've got a Manchester City again coming in for one of our players. So we're going to quickly reject that. Andres Pereira's also left. So a couple of sales in there. We've got Phil Jones. I'll say it'll take some hard work. Phil Jones, you're definitely not in our plans. Yeah, so I think we'll leave the first episode there. Obviously, like I say, we're going to just knock out the quick episodes and then Obviously, once the game fully comes out, we'll really get into the episodes a little bit more in depth. But yeah, thank you for watching episode 1. Come back next time and we'll see if we can continue on with the pre-season. Alright, thanks for watching. Bye.